time to put down your rod and pick up your headphones. Join JC and Andy from Ebb Tide Tackle for The Outflow, the podcast talking all things lure fishing with hardcore fishers from all over the world.
Hey guys, welcome back to The Outflow. It's John Cahill running tonight with a special guest who I'll introduce to you in a moment. It is the changing of the seasons. It's big barrel time, if not right now, within weeks of now. But the other thing it is, for me, it kicks off in May, but we're as good as there, and that's big bait season for Murray Cod. And that's a really good segue for the guest I've got in the studio with me tonight, the captain, Thomas Pinter.
G'day.
How are you, man?
Good. Doing really well.
It's good. It's great to have you here.
Great to be here.
Now, man, we go back probably a few years. I don't know exactly how many, but I think the thing we probably have most in common is Lake Eildon.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I reckon.
Yeah. The funny thing about that is I think when we probably, first started to cross paths up there, we were both in a real process of discovery and don't get me wrong, that discovery continues, but we all knew how many fish were in Eildon. We knew there were great fish. We knew, that word potential.
Yeah, that's right.
And we were on the edge, on the cusp of actually, to a degree, unlocking that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Because we could both see we did struggle at the start. Like, not saying we got it sorted now, but never say we have it sorted. But like now, the confidence is like done a full 180 to where it was like, I want to get a bite today. I'm chasing that fish, and now it's just like, how big is it going to be? You're chasing that. You've like gone through the emotions of like, there's something that I've sort of gone by is like when you go to a lake, you just first of all you just want to catch fish. You don't care how, you just want to get some fish on the board, and then you start to up the ante a bit. You go, all right, now I want to get that big one, and then without getting too cocky, you start ticking over some quality fish, and then you go, now I want to start catching them a certain way, and then I think you and I are both at that stage now where you start to see how far you've come, and then now you've just got your eyes locked on that, not just big fish, but a technique.
Yeah.
And just like, yeah.
That's pretty true, man, in how you want to do it. Because there's more than one ways to do it. There's no doubt about that. Eildon was a funny place to me for a long time. I'd get a taste of some success, and then have, in some cases, really horrible dry patches.
Yeah, you and I both.
Yeah, where it'd be like, a bit of confidence that had built up, like pretty much would get close to shattered.
Yeah.
And then, you get another taste,
right.
either in the form of a fish or like,
yeah,
we all got those stories about the giant we nearly got or whatever.
That's right.
But then I think the gaps between those incidences between the fish got closer and closer together.
That's right.
And to the point where you have great days. And
yeah, it was like maybe like one every 3-4 trips. You go, oh, dude, I had this big surface bite, or oh, a mate of mine fucking got this big fish. But then now it's just like every second trip, like without being too cocky, it's like, and then now it's just like, I didn't catch a fish. What did I do wrong? It's not, you're going, oh well, that's another trip of a donut. Next time I'll do better. And now it's just like, I didn't catch a fish. What went wrong? Try sorting it out, because you can do better.
Yeah, you have that huge analysis.
That's right.
No, it's not just disappointment,
but
it's an analysis of why didn't I? And the thing for me, this will forever be there, although Active Target or Panoptics might, whatever brand you use might kind of close this knowledge gap a little bit.
That's right.
But the thing that always has done my head in is like when you have those days when you've fired hundreds and hundreds of casts and you've done pretty much what you did last time, which was successful and has been successful before. I always go through this process of, but did I turn one's head? Did I actually put my bait past one?
Yeah.
Or did I just Was I fishing the wrong areas? Have they vacated this part of the lake? Or are they just ignoring me?
Yeah.
Having some of those answers actually laid out for you will be, for me, fantastic.
Yeah. I think it would be something that we'll touch on a little bit later in this podcast, but like regarding that active target or
keen to talk about it, man.
Like I can tell you straight off the bat that, you'll probably start pulling your hair out when you see too much, I think.
Well, that's the other side of it. and I do know of some people that have probably had panoptics for a little bit longer, said it's significantly changed how they fish in the context of they fish less. They spend a lot more time actually looking than fishing.
That's right.
So I'm yet to explore my way into it. I'm a Simrad user. Use Simrad units, which are traditionally, I guess, Lawrence freshwater, Simrad saltwater. I actually was talking to Nick Hamilton-Smith from Navico. The software that I needed so that my Simrad unit talks to the active target transducer was released yesterday.
Oh, right.
So
it's good.
When this podcast's over, I'm downloading the software tonight. And tomorrow I'm updating my units. So I'm so keen. But anyway, we will come back to that a little bit later.
Nice.
So we're on the cusp of big bait season. But before we talk kind of about giant Murray Cod and plans for the winter, there's an interesting thing I've noted about you, and I admire it, man. I really admire this. I'm a fan of tournament fishing in the context of the American Pro Bass Team, the elites.
Yeah.
I watch it on YouTube. I watch the elites live when it lines up with, depends what state they're in. Whether I don't watch it at 2 a.m., but I'll watch it at 11 p.m. if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If Carl's doing well or Brendan Pallenhook, guys I like to watch. So I like it. I like the theatre of it.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't compete in tournaments myself because I'm kind of the view. There's two things for me. One is it's kind of not what I like fishing for. Fishing's a different experience to me than in that competitive environment. But there's another thing, I'll be honest about it. If I don't think that I can win it or compete really seriously in it, I kind of don't want to do it. It's like in or not in for me, and I've got too many other things on the go.
Yeah.
But one thing I've admired about you, man, is your capacity to be, on one hand, the big bait giant hunter, but you convert very well to the tournament scene, which is such a different formula for success. Because if you just go around trying to chase giants, you're not going to win much.
No.
No,
that's right.
Many have tried, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think too many people would have won a tournament on doing that, or a comp, I guess, as we know them.
Yeah.
So take us through. Talk us about what your mindset is around all that. And you're enormously successful. Like the Cod Nationals back to back. That's huge, man.
Yeah, thanks.
and it's funny, leading into this year, Kish and I were talking. I said, we both agree, you'll win it. You and your dad. Look, to me, it was there because the way you kind of, in our eyes, you pretty much dominated that first year. Like you played that so well, better than anyone, right? This year was a bit different. You a little bit of a come behind. But the fact that you had done your homework, your family's got the house up there not far from Mull. And I kind of knew the hours you were putting in. I thought, as did Kish, you were going to do very well. So tell us about it, man.
Well, I think it's sort of like, if I could just rewind a bit, I don't know, I used to play soccer a lot, so like it was a bit of a team sport, but I don't know, I always had this bit of a mentality to do things on my own a little bit. So like that's sort of what pulled me away and stick to fishing. But I still like the competitive. I'll still like, I'm all for having a good time, but I do get a bit competitive at times.
Yeah.
And I love the fishing under pressure side of things. So I thought probably the best thing is like tournament fishing to scratch that itch. It was just obviously like the Nationals come off the back of Nationals. That's a partners event, and I fished it with my dad. But like with work commitments, my dad couldn't be on the water as much as I was. But so I did a lot of it solo, all the prep work pretty much solo. So it was a bit hard having only one lure in the water or doing things on my own. Like I gave up a lot of things to be out there, and even some really bad weather and even perfect conditions, and on the moon, off the moon, just so I can learn things through that way. But fishing solo and just hone in, and like my focus goes through the roof. Like I would literally look at everything around me and constantly be switched on. I would never really daydream. It's just my mind's constantly ticking, looking at the soundo. If I'm not getting bites or finding what I'm looking for, I'm already thinking, what am I doing? What do I need to do? Is it a lure change? Wrong area, maybe faster, higher in the water. There's so many different little factors that I'm constantly thinking about. And then magnify that times 100 when it comes tournament day, and you go back to where you're getting results and you're not finding results, and you have to pull the rabbit out the hat. Or I reckon you could see graph flowing through my head, trying to work things out. But I'll 9 times out of 10 when I'm on the boat and I'm zoned in, like I'm completely silent. I'm just doing my thing, and I don't know. It's hard going from that big bait mindset to points, because going and fishing a lot of the tournaments, depending on the tournament format, there are a lot of tournaments that are point based. So it's not really the biggest fish that wins it.
It's not like a bass bag.
That's right.
Of I've got the most weight.
No, that's right. Big fish do help, obviously. Like, bring them on. But you really need to have something to fall back on. In that case, is just having a few numbers on the board before you sort of tinker along and dedicate time. I still dedicated time to chasing a big kicker fish just to shoot up the board a bit, and even that's another strategy. I try to dedicate certain times of the day doing different things, but for the most part, just want to get things on the board and focus on what I know before I start branching out. And
I guess if you're having success, if your plan is working, then it opens up a huge range of possibilities to go for, kicker fish and make yourself like unreachable. It's all relative to if it's working or not, isn't it?
That's right.
The Cod Nationals format is, I don't know if it's completely unique in tournament fishing, but there's a lot of elements to your strategy.
That's right.
In that, you'll explain it better than me. I know bits about it, but can you take the listeners through, kind of the things that you've got to think about in terms of, is it your bonus day or whatever they call it, and the types of lures that you use and the brands. It comes down to brands. So
so I'll run you through. Like, it's a 4-day event. The first day this year, each year gets mixed up, so you don't really know until the day before or the briefing night. So each day is dedicated to a certain technique. So day 1 this year was spinnerbaits only, so spinnerbait mumblers, buzz baits if you wish, or soft plastics, but no hard bodies, no swim baits.
Cannot use them.
Cannot, zero. And for that reason, like, just take them out of your boat. Just don't even consider it. So all I had in my boat was just spinnerbaits. Day 2, hard bodies only. So anything that was a bib diving lure, surface paddler, again, no lipless crankbait, so no sort of jackals, TN60s, little doozers, none of that. No swim baits, so no jointed swim baits. Come day 3, I believe it was, throw anything you wanted. So that was an open playing field. But come day 4, the last day, you could only use lures available that were day 1 and 2. So it was semi-open. So what that does is, everyone has a bit of a niche. So what that does is, say if you're a hard body fisherman, you do really good on hard bodies, it makes you and pushes you to fish other lure types. So for instance, day 1, you're a spinnerbait fisherman. That would be a day where I'd choose to have my elected bonus points day, which is something you pick on the briefing night. You get a piece of paper and you tick the box which day you would think you're going to do the best in. And now what that does, gives you whatever you score on that day will get your score times 1.5. So if you don't perform on that day, that's a bag load of points that you've missed out on. You've got to capitalize on. And then topping that up with brands through through sponsored lure brands through the event are another little incentive. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like 0.05 of a multiplier on top of.
If you use the nominated brands.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you can imagine, there's been a few people, and it hasn't happened for me, but it has happened for a few other people where they've got their multiplier, they've selected their day, used a brand lure, and it's been a really big fish. And imagine when all those stars line up, you could be somewhere mid-table, but shoot you into the top 3.
Yeah.
So that's massive. That can get you thousands of points, and in thousands of points in this sort of deal, it's massive. And just quickly, an undersized fish. So legal size for Murray Cod is up to 55 or 54.9 centimeters.
Yep.
So anything in that range from 0 to 54.9 is its worth. So a 53 centimeter fish is 53 points.
Yep.
You catch a legal fish, say a 57 centimeter, it's 57 times 5. So that's 250, whatever the math is on that one. But yeah, so that's realistically, you have to catch 5 undersized fish to match one that's just legal.
Right. So there's huge little bits of what in one hand could be luck.
Correct.
But other bits of, I guess if you're someone who's done extensive homework on Mulwala and look, that pocket over there is just at the moment a goddamn nursery.
Yeah.
It's full of babies, but I can go there and catch plenty of them.
Yeah.
Or I know these other areas that are, or flats or whatever, that are currently holding not quite those numbers, but they're all legals.
Yeah, that's right.
It's where your research comes into it and then your game plan.
Yeah. There's a lot of competitors that actually caught 2-3 times the amount, but they lacked on a lot of points.
Yeah. They're not getting legals.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of fish, like undersized 53, 54 centimeter fish. But then you've got these people that were catching half the amount, but catching 60 to 70 centimeter fish.
Right.
And that shot them right up the board.
Knowing what I know about Mull as a system, because it's got some giants in it, and it's got a ton of meteries. But if you could fish the Nationals and score plenty of legals, 60s, 70s, you'll do real well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That class of fish will be massive points.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but again, obviously a meter fish, I'll take it any day.
Look, for any reason, but, like you said in that example, if someone's on their multiplier day, gets on the right lure, the right brands,
right,
bang, that's worth so much.
Yeah.
So this year was a little bit different to your first win, where, like I said, from my perspective, you guys pretty much led from the start to the finish of that tournament, didn't you?
Last year?
Yeah, your first win.
Yeah, first win, yeah.
Yeah.
No, we were in the lead. Actually, the first day, I think we didn't have our multiplier or nothing. We just went out fishing that day. We didn't even use sponsored brands, but yet we were second by a mere handful, and all top 5 had their multiplier.
See, that's a psychological win right there.
I walked off the water really happy because I knew that top 5 burn their multiplying points. And the following day, I was going in even more confident, fishing the water that I hadn't even touched yet, with all the stars ready to be aligned. And funny enough, they did. But we actually picked it was our best day, and that shot us up the board.
That's amazing.
And, from there, we were the driver's seat for the rest of the comp.
This year's win was like you were up there, but it was a come behind on the last day, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
Actually, that was touching cloth a bit there for a bit. It was for the first day, I think we were actually in 5th or something like that. And then Team Venom were actually on top for the whole event. And we sat in like second, closely followed by mere undersized fish to 3rd. And then between 3rd and 4th, I think there was like a handful of fish. But coming into that last day, Team Venom were on top they actually, going back to finding that kicker fish, they actually had a real nice kicker fish. I believe it was in the higher 80s, 90s, and they had all their points.
It's pretty handy.
So that's what was the gap between us and them going into the last day. And I don't wish it upon anyone, but they donated. Actually, I think they got maybe 1 or 2 undersized
on
fish
the last day.
And we actually pulled through and pulled a handful of legals, and 2 of those came in the last half an hour. The last one actually came through, was confirmed. It's actually like just quickly, it's a measure on a board and text through system.
Yep.
With your ID card. And I didn't have reception to send the photo.
So you got to get the reception.
Yeah,
time.
There was no. I didn't know going into the last day. You don't know where you're sitting, so he leaves a bit of a wild card. So you he plays mind games. The organizer Tony Bennett plays a bit of a mind game with competitors. Leaves a bit in the air and a bit of suspense.
So you don't know the leaderboard going into the last day?
No, I didn't know where I was.
That's harsh.
So going to the last day, you're sort of like a bit blind. And am I doing well? Are the other people struggling? Or where am I sitting? So we were going in like the last day, and this last fish, we packed up, pulled the electric in, and it was actually a bit of a bite, because the storm front started rolling in. And I was like, nah, we had a legal fish. It's like, nah, this is it. We've got to run. So I ran, trimmed up, and it was like blowing 30 knots, and I'm punching into it, skipping across the waves, and finally found a bar reception, pulled up, hit send, and I got the message back 1 minute to spare. Cutoff was 4 o'clock, and it was 3:59.
No way.
3:59 with a thumbs up saying confirmed measurement of 551 mil. So 1 mil over legal size, which was...
You sent through a photo as well, do you?
Yeah, correct. On the measuring board.
So they'll make an assessment.
Yeah. Tony himself makes the call on what the measurement is.
Yeah.
If you have a dispute, you can obviously take it up with you. But but he's very fair and very very honest with his measurements, and it was a hair over 55. And coming into the presentation, people are like, "Dude, you've got it. And I was like, "Nah, I don't know," because Team Venom were on top for a fair while, and they fish pretty strong every day they produced. So going in, I couldn't eat my food. I couldn't even have a beer. I couldn't, in the shower. I was on the floor of the shower just thinking, like, the head in my hands, just thinking, shit, what's going to happen? And in the end of the day, I knew we'd done well. So like, regardless of the result, I was going to be happy. But going in there, went in to buy myself a beer at the bar, and one of the competitors from Team Venom came over to me and goes, "Look, you don't have to tell me how you went, but did you catch fish today?" And I just gave him a nod, and he goes, "Yeah, okay." And then
we didn't.
Yeah, and he goes, "Because we didn't." And then I was like, "Oh shit." But then anyway, I waited till the actual final words came out, and then it got announced that we took it out, which is phenomenal.
That's mad. What was you and your old man? What was your biggest fish for the comp?
Biggest fish was a 71, I think it was.
Yeah, it's. I reckon that's just such an amazing contrast between your big fish mentality and the fish that it takes to win a tournament like that. Because if you caught that 71 in Hilton, you'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't blink.
No, that's right. No,
would you?
No, that's right.
Yeah. So I've met your dad a few times. I know he loves his fishing. What does he bring to the team? Because obviously you've got your enthusiasm and your passion and your dedication to it. What's your old man bringing to the table?
No, he's leading up to the event. Like I'm talking about months out, he kept calling. Like I was getting random calls at work, and just for you to know, Dad's my boss.
Yeah.
So like he would call me randomly during the day. He's like, "Thomas, I reckon we should do this and this." Just randomly during a work day, you start talking about nationals and tactics, what you want to do.
Yeah, right.
And I'll be saying like, "Dad, I got to get going." He's like, No. I pay your wage. We're talking about this. And I was like, all right, whatever. Anyway, but so yeah, he was always keen and always talk about last year and reflecting on like moving forward, like what we can include from last year to this year and stuff like that. And we always bounced off each other a lot of ideas. And at the start, he took the back seat a little bit, like didn't say too much. But this year, he brought a lot to the table. Like, "Thomas, I reckon we should do this. Maybe we should approach things like this, or do this with the lure instead." And there was so many times through the event, actually last year as well, where my dad can't stand on his feet for 10 hours of the day fishing the whole event. He's got a sore back. He's aging.
Yeah.
So many times I catch him sitting on the floor, but he'd always have his lure in the water. And at the start, I was like, "Dad, come on, fish harder." Like, I do want to be rude, but at the same time, like, come on, we're here to win.
Yeah.
And then, and then he just started catching fish, sitting down, having a smoke, having a coffee, bringing his thermos. And he started pulling those random fish in the middle of nowhere. I'd pull up and look on charted waters and the side scan like that. There's a nice lay down here. I've found fish on here before. And he'll turn around and cast the opposite way into open water. And so I was shaking my head and saying a few cursive words like, put your lure here. And there's so many times he's gone and just randomly go, oh, yep, I'm on.
Pluck one in the open water.
And there's nothing there. So he's done it that many times now. And while I'm fishing, I look over and he's doing it. I don't say anything.
Just let it go now.
You do you, man. Like,
yeah,
it's just so many
that's
times.
a funny phenomena that of the seemingly cast into barren territory.
Oh,
whether it's reef, ocean, river, lake,
yeah,
it pulls fish. I think you could do a lot of them and catch a lot of nothing.
Oh, 100%.
But I've seen it enough times.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. It started teaching me. I started doing random casts out into the open.
Well, if there's a fish in the open, he's active.
That's right. He's out there for a reason.
Yeah, he's going to eat.
He's either traveling or he's hunting.
Yeah,
he's not there for no reason.
Yeah, whereas one on a log, you can bump it into him 100 times before he might eat it sometimes.
Right.
But if there's one out there, it's probably going to eat it.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. It's such a unique thing for you to be able to experience. Is essentially some elite sport with your dad as a team. Right. That's really cool.
Yeah, like it means a lot. Like just winning champion angler, I didn't feel like I won it. I felt like we won it.
Yeah,
because in the end, like he was there making decisions just as much as I was in regards to what we're going to do, game plan, and that could have easily turned the other way. Like,
yeah.
Funny enough, like winning champion angler again, not much in it. Like coming into the last day, Matt Rogers, Coral local, again knows the lake. I think he might know it better than me, or I dare say he does. He fishes on his brother's boat. Again, a brother pairing, Ian and Matt Rogers. Funny enough, the guy at the back of the boat was catching more fish than the guy at the front.
Yeah, right.
And he was fishing the water secondhand.
Yeah.
And his brother on the electric, Ian, pulled a good amount of fish, but Matt at the back of the boat was actually right up there with me being champion angler. So
from the back of the boat. Yeah, right.
From the back of the boat. So you don't always have to be on the electric to get the fish.
No, you don't. It's funny though. I feel, and you probably do too, more confident if you are on the casting deck.
Of course. Yeah. Same.
It's definitely not. You're not out of the game, but
no, that's right.
But it's a bit of a confidence thing. What's next for you?
Well, apart from there's a couple weekend comp events like Central
Vickers. Yeah.
Yeah, they like go to Eildon, I think Epalock, Mulwala.
So you're doing them now, are you?
Yeah, I do them now and then. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like doing the Mulwala events obviously because home water, some good money up for grabs as well. But even then, it's a great social event.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the fishing Eildon in general. So like fishing Eildon itself in a tournament situation is just my cup of tea.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? And that's one tournament, even though it's not big fish orientated, I will go out there chasing a big fish because I don't know, I've got that much like scenarios where it's happened where how big fish can come out of nowhere. It happens all too often to just go out there and just chase small fish.
Going to Eildon to chase small fish, that's something that probably plays with my head a little bit of how I'd go about that now. I can think of a few locations where I would go to for it. That would be more probably around areas where I know have been nurseries because they've been massive release locations. Around Jews.
Yeah, that's right.
That kind of stuff. And I guess lure selections would match in with that. I guess that's what I do. Yeah. But I'm just so used to going there. It's with a mentality. And in fact, now I only go there within pretty much defined months.
Yeah, that's right.
Because, the little fish go quiet.
Yeah, that's right.
The big fish are now on the job. They're winter putting on pre-spawn condition.
That's right. Big heavy girls.
Yeah, big heavy girls. That's the way we like it. So swinging over now to, talk about that. It's big bait season, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. I reckon it's big bait sort of season, like pretty much kicks off now, but I gave the same mentality a bit of a crack going back through the summer months.
I know, and you did damn well.
Yeah, I was actually pretty surprised. Like really fished very similar lures, just contrasting technique, completely different, like just real different. Just obviously there's going to be a lot of wake boat traffic, warmer water, hotter days. So it's can be a little bit fatiguing on yourself, whereas it's not, there's only a certain amount of layers you can take off.
Yeah. You're eventually going to get to the point where I'm hot.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, especially like you being a bit of a bowl, you got hills around you, there can be no wind, and then just hot air just stagnant around you. It can be pretty hard. But
I find that hard with that place, especially when I'll go fish it all summer, not a problem at all, but it will be around a fairly short window.
Yeah, that's right.
Once the wake boats get, active and you're starting to like surf around on your front deck and get knocked around, it just messes with my enthusiasm for it. Doing that this summer, because for guys that don't know what we're talking about, Thomas did bang some very, very good fish this summer, and some of them when the sun was pretty high.
Oh yeah, through the heat of the day.
Hot. So check out his YouTube for some of the videos he's put up over the 2020, 2021 summer period. You'll see them. What were you doing?
Pretty much just fishing that thermocline, like looking at the thermocline on sounder, watching where the bait was, paying a big attention to the bait. And again, like I didn't have active target up until probably the second half of summer, late summer. And so that fishing an area and then without it and then going back over with it, it made me go, that's why the big fish are there, or that's why they were doing what they were doing. Definitely fishing that little bit deeper, a lot more patience, a lot slower. Whereas I know in winter, I'd be happy to obviously fish slow, a bit more methodically, but happy to fish a little bit quicker in a way through winter, because I know if you're going to get a fish in winter, he's going to eat. There's been a lot of fish in summer where they were doughy and they were just sitting on the bottom, whether they're hunting more at night or something. I'm not too sure, but that's just what I found. Like I found them very more structure orientated, bit more insecure in a way. They weren't that semi-pelagic mentality about
not on the hunt.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't mean they won't eat.
That's right.
But they're probably not primarily, up and about.
That's right. Whereas in winter, you can fish mid-water and 10, 12 meters of water. And
yeah, man.
Every bit of confidence, I'm still going to slam.
Yeah, like you can be in 12 meters plus in winter and be very confident about a fish rising to the surface and smacking it off the top.
That's right. Yeah.
It's the way I've come to learn. There's nothing to them.
That's right. Yeah.
If you're putting down what they want, no worries at all.
Yeah. If you think like if 4 meters, if you're in 4 meters of water or 5 meters of water, for a fish to swim that distance, especially if he's hungry, it's not that great.
Yeah.
And that's actually funny that the surface fish I've had in Eildon, most of them, I think there's literally a handful I've had under like 3 meters of water. Most have been like that 5 to 8 meters of water surface fishing. And it's funny because when they hit the lure, they actually come out of the water as well, because they must be hitting it with that much momentum coming from deeper water. I guess you could scale it down from a great white hitting a seal. Yeah. When they hit it from underneath, it's identical. Like you see the whole fish. And
you get the big tail slap as they're trying to get traction again to go down.
Yeah. You don't really get too many buffs. It's more just annihilating where they're actually using the body momentum to hit it.
To nail something down. Right, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So for me, look, I've been doing a lot of saltwater this summer. The weather's aligned to it. I've got the right boat for it and the fishing's been here. So, but for me, generally, I won't start the winter big bait season for me until probably later in May. Yeah. I like the flow out of Eildon to go to that point where the irrigation releases are finished.
Okay.
And the lake's starting to now go into the winter mode of replenishing.
Yeah.
That's what I like. But the reason why I said, I've been doing a lot of salt and that, but if the weather's bad, I'd go to Eildon now.
Yeah.
Because the weather has changed.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. If the opportunity was there, I'd go now.
Yeah.
Right. I'm actually excited to go.
Yeah, 100%. I'm actually coming this weekend.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're not going to the Cod conference?
No, not this weekend.
Why talk about fishing or whatever when you can fish? I get it. Yeah, no, we committed to go up for a family event on the Saturdays. I'm from Shep originally, and then we'll go to the conference on Sunday. But yeah, good on you. I'm keen to hear how you go, mate.
Yeah, thanks. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, the the whole, is there anything fresh you're taking into, the 2021 winter in your arsenal or your mentality, or is it just like, I'm going to pick off where I, stopped?
Yeah, it's a good question. Like last year, if you can call it, or last season, I had fun, but like I want to like up it a bit, push myself that little bit harder. That sort of tournament mentality again coming back, where I don't want a fish, I want the fish. Like
the fish.
Call me arrogant or whatever. 120 isn't the bar. I want more than that.
You want that Eildon true giant.
100-pounder. That's the ultimate. Like, I don't get me wrong. I appreciate every fish that I catch, but now like when I see is in Eildon, I always thought, Eildon has those big fish, but I've seen enough photos for me to go, nah, Thomas, it's possible. Like
the 100-pounder is possible.
It is
for sure,
especially that time of year, pre-spawn, where they stack it on, and they're in that mode, that period before they sort of like switch off to play mummies and daddies. That time there is like key, and that's probably where I want to dedicate 99% of my time.
So what I've taken out of that is your kind of goal, whether it's official or a little bit of an unofficial Thomas one, is the 100-pounder.
Like 120, whatever. Like, please, anyone that's listening, I'm not.
No, you won't sneeze at it. Of course.
No, of course not. I appreciate everything, like I said, but like if you want to get big, I see you got to aim big. Like
you do.
Yeah, like years ago, like I just wanted to catch meter fish and consistently, and then sort of I wanted to get that 120, and then after ticking that off, I was like, nah, what's the next thing? It's like when you're at that 130 mark, you start going, hang on, that's a serious heavy fish. He's not far off 100-pound. And in the right circumstances, that is 100-pound.
I think in the right circumstances, something 120-ish in Eildon might nudge it. Like, no two 120s are the same.
No, that's right.
As but the right 120 odd might.
100%.
Yeah. I think you go really close. Do you think there's much difference in the technique, the application, or potentially the locations you're targeting to go from the mentality of, I'm going to Eildon to try and chase the metery, that might be a meter 5, meter 10, it might be a meter, to what you're talking about, to chase the 100-pounder?
Yeah, I think so. I think the 100-pounder isn't going to be such a, I could be wrong, but I don't think they're going to be such a migratory sort of a fish. I think he might hold to a stretch or a vicinity, maybe a K stretch of water or something. I don't think he's going to be on this arm and then one arm a month later or something like that, and then shoot down to the bottom part or whatever. I think he's going to be a part of the lake where he's been there for a few years, and where he's happy, where he knows where there's food. And
to me, what you just said leads me to the view that you're saying that the lake giant, the true giant, will probably be more of a main basin fish.
Possibly, yeah.
Because he's not going to get that, I'm disrupted out of my home by the rise and fall of the lake.
Well, that's another massive factor, I reckon, is that rise and fall. Because, as you know, it can drop 10 meters, and that structure is well and truly all that bank.
It's crazy. It's looking at the lake. When we started, it was pretty full.
Very full.
Look, I don't know exactly when you started fishing Eildon, but when we started to see each other up there, the lake had fairly high capacity. There'd been, some big springs. Whereas, we've seen it get to, where did we get?
I think it was like 30, like last year before, it was about 36%.
Yeah, so, that's crikey.
Yeah.
And it's almost like kilometres of river arms that are like, they go from, good lake to fish, very good lake to fish, to it's just a river.
Yeah, that's right.
It literally is. It's crazy. It tests your, when you come, like, especially if you fish it seasonally, like I do, I only fish it seasonally. When you come back to it for like the first time and you're like, right, okay, in my mind, I had this vision. It's not like that.
No, not.
I need to adjust now. And, it comes back to those things for me though, like back to basics, find the bait.
Yeah, you got to take a step back and just reevaluate everything. Just hit pause for a second and just don't go guns a-blazing, because where you were once upon a time, a certain percentage, the bait's not there. They're not there. He's his home's high and dry, or that bit of bank that he loved about it that held him there isn't there anymore. So he's probably well and truly moved on. Not to say he won't probably come back when it comes back to that water level, whatever it was. But yeah, for the most part, I think the fish will come and go. Don't get me wrong, there will be some that obviously will stay and go up and down.
If they've got permanent water.
That's right. Is there something there?
Yeah, that's why I kind of lead to, if what you're saying true about that real big giant, he's probably more a fish that's pushed a little bit more somewhere into what is, relatively permanent water than a place where he's like definitely going to get pushed out of it.
Yeah.
Right. But forgetting the giants aside, that discussion, there's plenty of fish that we know that actually do travel freaking kilometers.
Oh yeah, huge.
They do.
Yeah.
They definitely push up with fresh water.
Yeah.
And they definitely push up in terms of spawn activity.
Yeah.
They do that. But I'm not interested in that. Like, I'm not saying I never do it, but the whole fishery that the VFA did create in terms of that being a year-round fishery of being able to target during spring, I'm not that interested in it. I'm kind of interested in this winter game.
Yeah.
More around to the point where when they do actually switch to being, they've got babies on their mind, I'm inclined to, for right or wrong, start to think about leaving them alone.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's where sort of the yellows sort of kick off.
And
that was good fun.
Other things start to happen.
Yeah, that's right.
I know you like other aspects of fishing too. I'm very focused on pelagic tuna and kingfish and start to think about that stuff. So but yeah, for those that want to chase them, it's in place. You don't have to do that. The VFA have created that. There's a bit of conjecture about how far up the lake that should occur, but there's debate behind the scenes, guys, about that, and we'll probably talk about that more down the track. There's a couple of people I'd actually like to get on specifically for a podcast about that, and Andy and I have discussed it, and who knows, we'll see if we can get them on.
Yeah.
They're not too keen about talking publicly.
Yeah, I'd love to hear what they have to say.
Yes. So a lot of people, in fact, I'd say probably the vast majority of people that don't know you but know the Thomas Pinter is via your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Tell us about it, because it's going good.
I just mainly just started to because I started documenting some pretty cool stuff, and I wanted to share it, and obviously Facebook's or Instagram's a bit of an outlet, but I wanted to get it on a platform that's read or easier just to view, and it's great to interact with a lot of people asking questions or commenting and stuff like that. So it's great to hear back from the people that watch the video, and even I'm open to what people have to say. I might not always agree, but if you've got something to say, I'm always happy to hear. I know a lot of people actually give feedback, how much they learnt. I'm always happy to help people without giving too much away, to be honest. I reckon that a lot has to be earned. Yeah. But always happy to share, never put you in the wrong direction. Always happy to help people, especially when you're starting out. There's so much to learn, but time out there, you still got to learn it.
Man, that's some good points in that. That whole thing about not giving it all away.
That's right.
I think that's really important. It's funny sometimes that people can get angry with you for not giving it all away because they know that you're holding a little bit back. And it's funny, some people's expectations that, you should.
Yeah.
I can't say I agree, but the other point you made there was fantastic. Don't send people the wrong way.
No, never do that. I'd rather honestly tell you that, look, I can't tell you the information than send you somewhere else. To be honest, I'd rather, I wouldn't like if someone done it to me. So
I've had it done to myself.
Oh, I've had it to me too.
Yeah, 100% where I have been sent 180 degrees the wrong direction. And it wasn't, the time it happened to me was, I didn't even ask.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I was saying, hey, Thomas, can you tell me where you're getting those fish? I ran into someone and they gave me info to go somewhere where it was just literally, I'll send you to the deadest.
Away.
Yeah, away. And I'll, never forget that.
Yeah.
Never forget that.
That's right.
If I actually, we've had a couple of times where my inbox has been asked and so is yours from the same
Yeah,
person.
same
It happens, right?
Yeah.
Me personally, I've probably got a little list of 2 or 3 or 4 areas that I'll send people where it's sound.
Yeah.
It's good advice.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to tell you where I'm going.
Yeah, yeah.
But where I'm sending you is you have got a really good chance.
Yeah, of course.
With what I'm telling you on where you're going.
Yeah, yeah.
And I reckon that's fair.
Yeah. No, that's right. It's not like, there's still a chance of getting a fish just as much as you, but it's not, like I'd still fish it myself.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't think there's any point naming any locations, but like literally the spots where I suggest people go, I would go there tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right.
And fish them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
it's a roll of the dice whether you do that or you go to where you think you really want to go today.
Yeah.
Because you go and fish there those days and sure as you'll donut. And,
yeah, well, that's right. And then they text through a photo, hey, look what I caught.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Yeah, but that's being fair to them, but also true to yourself in terms of like, don't give it all away.
No, like think how much money, time, and just you've pulled yourself away from your family. Like as basic as it sounds, like weekends, if you're not working, traditionally, you probably should be spending with your family or you spend with your loved ones.
Traditionally, mate.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I think you and I both, like, you've got supportive partners. We're at different stages of our life. You've got young kids. I've got, teenage girls that are, coming to the back end of their schooling, but we've both got partners that support the endeavour.
Commitments, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it's hard to do it without that.
Oh, it is. Like, I reckon it sort of works for itself in a way. Like, my wife encourages me a lot. Like, she supports me 110%. Even like coming up to after trade show, initially I said no because it wasn't fair on her to be alone,
right?
Like a 6-month-old.
Yep.
And she actually
she's pregnant again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got one on the way, 16 weeks. She actually turned around and goes, no, I'll come with you. You're going and I want to be there with you.
There's a good solution.
Yeah. So it was actually her initiative to say, no, we'll go and I'll come with you.
Yeah, that's a supportive partner, man. That's really good. And that's a good way to do things.
Yeah.
I've noticed, coming back to kind of like Ilden, like I know you guys have got the family place up near Mulwala, so it's kind of different. You got a base there.
Yeah.
But you live in Melbourne, you fish Ilden a lot during, especially winter.
Yeah.
You do a lot of day trips.
Yeah.
You'll do the super early go, and I've got a different approach. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll do them.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's because I'm a bit older, but I really like swagging it.
No, yeah.
I like my sleep.
Yeah.
I like to be able to say you're going to fish a weekend. I really like to get up there on, say, if I can, get up there on a Friday night, pitch my swag in the dark, don't care.
Yeah, yeah.
But I can get, let's say something better than 6 hours sleep.
Yeah.
But you do a lot of these like up cannonballs, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, I get too cozy in a swag, and especially fishing.
And then you don't get up.
Yeah, I struggle. Like, I love the early morning drive and a cup of coffee, listening to the radio, the podcast. I just love that. I'm already zoning into the morning, what I'm doing, what lures. I already know what my first cast's going to be.
Yeah.
Before I get to the ramp. And I love that. Going to bed that night and you're just like, I'm getting up at 2 a.m. to go fishing.
Everything's rigged, ready.
Everything's good. Fuel's in the boat.
Yeah.
All I've got to do is just get me coffee, and then hook up the boat. I love that excitement.
Yeah. I'm hearing you, and I do the same thing. It's a podcast, it's coffee, but I need my sleep.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah. Like I can, like, I'm at that age. I think I can sort of get away with sleep. Like every time I've been to Copeton, I've driven from Melbourne to Copeton non-stop, like just literally
fuel.
Just fuel, eating food on your lap and driving, and that's like a 15-hour stint. And I'll be eyes glued to the road the whole time, like pumped, like just excited to get there. But even then, on the way home, I'll drive the whole way home too. But I usually stuff off on the way, mull on the way through. But
it's a different mood on the way home.
Oh yeah,
it's like if you've had a good trip, it's a good vibe.
Yeah, good vibe.
But it's not like going there.
No.
But when you've had a challenging trip to Copeton or any long haul like a trip, it can be a tough drive back.
It can hurt.
It really can.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like I've done 6 Copeland trips. 4 of them have been quite successful.
Yeah.
One of them was a blinder.
Yeah.
Like just wow.
Yeah.
2 donuts.
2 donuts.
I've done 2 donut trips to Copeland. Like my PB's up there. Like, you know, I really love the place. But it is like any other lake in the context of guarantees.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's the same. I think just the quality is probably sets apart from others, but I think for the most part of actually catching fish to not catching fish, it's all out there. Like it's the same.
The thing that I've finally gotten to with Copeland, I'd go there tomorrow, especially now that it's getting some water back in it. It wasn't very attractive at 10%.
That's right.
But, you know, I would go back there tomorrow. But that 16-hour drive that you're talking about, and then that one coming back, you come back destroyed.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally wrecked. Why drive past Eildon? Like, say you were going to Copeland for 4 or 5 days fishing plus the drives. If you put that investment into Eildon, man, you're going to get some results.
Oh, if I had a week off, I tell a lot of people, if I had a week off, I'd be on Eildon 100%. Like all that money spent on fuel and that, like, bloody hell, I'd be going there. Maybe even get a houseboat.
I was going to say houseboat.
Houseboat.
Yeah.
Cheaper.
We've houseboated on Eildon before. I've done it a couple of times. It's a great platform to go and do your missions, especially if you want to do, you know, bite windows around, say, moonrise or moonset that are in the night.
That's right.
You can literally go out for your 2.5 hour session.
That's right.
Come back, tie the boat off, bang, you're in bed.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, get ready for the dawn one.
That's right. Exactly right.
Yeah, I like that a lot, but it's you kind of need more than a weekend.
Yeah, I think so.
For a houseboat, you know.
I think so, and maybe a group of buddies or something.
Yeah, a group of buddies. It's a good time, isn't it?
Good social too.
Really good time.
Yeah.
If you got onto a good bite window with a group of buddies with the boat, that'd be all time.
Oh, that's the best. Comparing notes and
you
know, sharing stories and stuff like that. It's not just the fishing itself. What happens off the water as well. It's you know, usually eat a lot of food too.
Yeah, for sure.
Couple
of drinks. Yeah, you do need some time if you're going to do that because, you know, most of your houseboats are obviously located at Jews or the marina down past the wall.
Yeah.
You've got a fair old chug in that houseboat to get anywhere.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, a bit of a trip.
I've always been I think we've only had it 2 times, might have been 3, that we've had the houseboat. I'm the one that's picked it up and dropped it off. And it's like, it takes forever to get anywhere. It's not fun.
Yeah. No,
it's much easier to rock up later and just, you know, drive your tinny around to it. Yeah. So what's on the horizon? I know we spoke off air and you tell me what you're comfortable about talking about, but there's a few things on the go here and there.
Looking at branching out a bit more Australia-wide, I guess. Don't want to give away too much because
things have got to happen still.
Yeah, things are still got to happen. But it's well truly on the way of happening. But yeah, I just want to probably up the ante a bit with the fishing, not just the fishing itself, but filming and making videos. I actually want to do something about it and get out there a bit more and do it and not be so lazy. I know I've been a little bit lazy, but I always have the cameras rolling on my boat always because you just never know what happens. But I've been a little bit lazy in regards to doing something with it.
What you mean taking the next step?
Like the production and stuff like that. And
your production's very good though, man. Your, you know, any of your trip-based, whether it's Eildon or whether it's, you know, Swords or Burmese, whatever it is, whenever you do a video that's based around going fishing, your production quality is good.
No, thanks.
It is, man. You tell a story.
Yeah.
And I know what goes into that.
Yeah.
In terms of the effort to record all of that before you even catch a fish is considerable.
Yeah.
And on those days where things don't go to plan.
No, it doesn't.
And
always.
You literally just delete it all.
Yeah. It sometimes gets like that. Like, a lot of things have to form right. Like I don't want to put in a half-assed video as such. Like I want to, if I wouldn't watch it, I don't want other people to watch it.
Yeah, and that's really fair. And that keeps your channel and content to a standard. And I think it's funny for probably creators that that push to get a video out each week.
Yeah.
You know, which a lot of talk about, you know, the success factors for like YouTube is regular uploads.
Yeah,
and they talk
right.
about, you know, I think some of them talk about got to upload twice a week.
Mm.
That's enormous pressure, man.
That's heaps. Like I took a break from probably for the last month from when we're filming this podcast, just because of like nationals building up. Even there, I filmed and I did a day where I was like, no, I want to film this pre-fishing what I'm doing, which was a couple of weeks out of the actual comp itself, and I filmed it. It's up there now. It's banging like half a dozen fish from like a dozen bites or something, and a few topwater fish, and that was just in a couple of hours fishing with my dad. And because I wanted to show you a bit what's involved
behind the scenes.
Yeah, a bit more behind the scenes. Maybe going to the tackle store. A lot of people that are listening have asked, like, what do I buy? Like, why do you buy this? What about that? Bit of a couple of questions to shop owners as well. Like, what would they do and stuff like that. So it's like a bit of behind the scenes, a little bit of my life as well. Taking a little bub to the tackle store as well.
I saw that one. Yeah,
just little things like that. Like, I know me as an angler, I like to see what they're like on and off the water as well.
Well, that's what to me, my observations of like the YouTuber, the people that have been successful at making it their job, it actually becomes, it's definitely still about their fishing.
Yeah.
But it's about them as a person and their personality.
That's right. Yeah, that's huge.
Whereas, like, you know, the Ebb Tide YouTube is not that. It is, there's a fair chunk of trips and days fishing, but a lot of it's more around the giving of information to help people that, you know, might make them a better angler, might answer some questions. Yes, some of it might be entertaining. Some of it is just like some technical knowledge.
Yeah.
It's very different to building, like, essentially, well, you're a brand. Like,
right.
You know, the captain is, you know, you've got some apparel, etc.
Yeah.
You look at other, you know, like some guys that have really probably enjoyed some success. You know, I guess probably, I reckon in Australia, the guys that have probably paved the way very early for this would probably be the Morning Tide guys, the originals. And it's now they've branched out and it's literally about them.
Yeah.
Very much about the person and the personality, and they
right.
become, you know, known.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You see how like they're still mates and they everyone's got their own little niche.
Yeah.
And their personalities and stuff. But yeah, they're a great watch too.
Would you like to do it full time? Is that in your mind?
If it paid the wage and helped me doing what I'm doing, yeah, for sure.
It's a leap of faith, isn't it?
It is. It's a massive commitment, especially having I've got a mortgage, I've got a wife and kids and that. So so there's a lot at stake. Like,
one down, one to come.
Yeah. The ultimate would be like, I always like I have no regrets where I am, what I'm doing now. But if I was 18, I'd save that money. Like, realistically, I'd probably do it with a van, have my boat on the back and just travel and film everything, every second. Be in chasing barra one day, GTs the next, then chasing bass, then go to New England cod the next weekend. I'd be wherever there's fish. Yeah. I'd be just pumping it out.
You would have to do this stuff to do that kind of thing young and before commitments.
That's right.
There's no other way.
No, that's right.
Is there? And that could build into something that, you know, you end up where, you know, you end up with a partner that understands that and embraces that, and eventually you get a base. You know, that's probably how that happens. But I don't see that happening once you're established. It's hard.
That's right.
The guy that's probably doing a bit of that is Dean Sylvester.
Yeah, he's doing very well.
Yeah, he's doing well. Like building up his channel. Yeah. God, man, that guy fishes.
Yeah, good dude too.
Yeah, I've met Dean yet. Probably met him in after, I'd imagine, this year. I imagine he'll be there.
Yeah.
But he seems like a lovely guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can tell from videos.
Yeah. Just from vibe and attitude. Like, I fished with Dean probably 2 years ago. He came down for them to go fishing in Gambia.
Yep.
And he came up and fished with me and my whaler. Actually, that was a bit of a hectic session. We had laughs all day. And he actually, if he's listening to this, he dropped a big fish, like a really big fish. Yeah. On a swim bait. Like, we both didn't get a proper look at it, but it put a serious bend in a swim bait rod, put it that way.
Yeah, right.
But yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like he went through a massive process of discovery around cod fishing in the last year or two.
Yeah.
You know, like he dedicated a lot of his time to cod.
Yeah, a lot of miles. Like you sort of think the amount of money going into fuel, accommodation, wasted time off, and people don't understand. That's again referring back to the giving away the information that how much money gets thrown into exploring the unknown. It could be a complete flop. It could be an absolute win. You just don't know.
In terms of fishing discovery,
that's right. Yeah.
Oh man, the amount of money I spend on fuel. It's probably that one thing. I feel like every second day, I'm filling up my car.
Yeah.
And if I'm fishing a lot, like the boat, it's just like, you know, and yeah, my Sportsman's only got a 115 on the back of it. It's not like any mega beast. But every time that nozzle goes in, it's like 80, 90, 100, 120. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. No, I completely understand.
Big coin.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can ever do is run two boats.
Oh.
You know, two of everything, basically.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But that's sort of like what we're lucky in. You wouldn't, I reckon, probably might do 10 litres for the day.
Yeah. No.
10, maybe 20 on a big day.
On a big day. Back when I used to have the two banger on mine, it was like, it was 20 every time because it just was thirsty.
Yeah.
But the Suzuki is actually quite good. I like it.
Yeah.
But you happy with the boat, man?
I love it. I won't sell it ever. I've had some pretty stupid and serious offers, but
have you?
Yeah. Some that are a bit more than what people think. Triple figure boats and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
Big boats. That people wanted that exact boat. They didn't want to rebuild. They wanted to buy that one.
Yeah, right.
And it's amazing. Like there's places like I did a trip to Windermere where I'd never been there before, and this random guy in a nice flash glittered up bass boat. I've seen it from a mile away, roosted tail across the lake, turned and headed over towards us as we were like about to get on plane. He pulled up, and I thought, oh, what? I actually thought he was a water cop for some reason, just come up to chat, and he just asked me questions flat out about the boat, if I like it, and I was like, I like your boat pretty good too. And he kept going, and then later on caught up at the ramp, and he goes, would you be interested in swapping or selling?
Oh, wow.
And then, and it was like, do you want to talk about money? And I was like, nah, like this thing, like the guy that helped me build it, Kyle Dalrymple, metal fabricator.
Good man.
Yeah, very good man.
Yeah.
Just to know what he went through building it, like through the heat of summer in his garage, like up on the Murray, like a heat of summer, you're talking about 35, 40 degrees, and when you're in full overalls, welding under the floor of a confined space, he was sending me snapshots of the thermometer. It was well over the 40-degree mark, you know.
That's dedication.
I felt shit that he was actually working on my boat while his wife was pregnant.
Yeah, it's a fair effort, wasn't it?
Oh,
yeah. He's a good dude. I really enjoy his company. He's dry as and genuine as. The thing that strikes me about your boat is it's all function. It's it's made for what you do with no fanfare. Because I guess you'd expect a boat like yours to then be finished off with a fairly sexy looking wrap or or paint job or something like that. But it's for on the water. Like I know you your boat, but it's very easy to not give your boat a second look.
Yeah,
and I think that's a pretty good thing for you in terms of I think a lot of people would fly by you when you're working a bank and not know.
Yeah, well, that's sort of one reason. I didn't want to be full loud about it. I just wanted to keep it. I like things being not minimal, but clean, tidy. I like to think less is more. Like I don't want litter and all that fancy stuff on there. Like just between us and listeners, or whatever. I didn't even want a rego sticker on the thing. I ran it without a rego sticker for a little while actually, just because I hated putting any sort of sticker.
Didn't want anything on it.
No, like I've got a carpet decal and a rego sticker on it now and a fake taxi sticker on the back.
Yeah,
but that's about it.
What's on the inside in terms of like you might have some gunnel stickers or carpet stickers. That's one thing, but that I guess that image from the outside world of like. There's no mistaking some boats where you go, boom, that's the whatever boat, because
stuff.
Colour and wraps and the like. But
Because I used to have a 440 Hornet Trophy side console, and I had that brand new. And literally within a couple of months of having it, I just kept going, I wish I had this, or why isn't this like that? And I wasn't complaining, but I was already, my mind was ticking over like this. I love it, but it's not for me. It doesn't suit my style much. And it was heavy, and I just wanted to be a bit faster, but without upping the weight or going a massive motor. But I did go to this hull now where I've completely stripped it, or it was bare hull from brand new. I did go a bit stupid and put 100 horsepower on it because I wanted to go quick, and it hit 90 clicks very quickly. But and it was the speed I was after, but it just felt very much. It wasn't the fact of holding onto the handle and steering it. It was more the fact of like if I was to hit a ripple or whatever else, I was on the edge of
like bass boat vibes when you see bass boat accidents.
Yeah, it was chime walking.
Yeah.
Like it would just, there was literally only where my ass was at the back of the boat. That's the only bit that was touching water. But that was it. You could see underneath the hull.
Yeah.
Even with batteries and stuff at the front, it was just so much torque and power in the motor that lifted the front up, no worries at all. So I ended up selling that, and then now I'm running a 60 tuned to a 70. And what that tune does is still just allow me to run a bigger prop, bigger pitch. So that's actually why it does roost the tail the way it does when I've got it trimmed up, because it's got so much power to throw that bigger prop that.
Gotcha.
Still up the speed.
Yeah, it does throw a fair rooster. I thought it might have been your power pole.
Oh, okay, no, at a slower speed it does, but when I'm up and boogie and trimmed up, it moves. Like I've been doing low 70s when I'm by myself, but that prop I've got now, like as soon as I have someone else in there, it gets a bit sluggish. Like doing like 60, just under 60 or something. As soon as I have another body in the boat.
Yeah.
Even there, I'm running lithium batteries, so like rip the heap of weight out of it.
Yeah.
I don't like tackle. I like running.
So you like it being light from the perspective of just pure boat performance.
That too,
yeah. I actually don't mind my tinny. Like it's no performance machine. It's a bloody 420 estuary tracker, Mako craft. It's no performance, but I don't mind weight from the perspective of like running into chop.
Oh, 100%.
So you've just got
I get
the
that.
stability. Yeah.
I just love. Like I sort of start to look for a reason to do a big run across the lake, especially when it's blast out first thing in the morning. I love that.
It is nice. It is. Just got to rug up. And I just the tears coming out.
I'll wear like a
ski goggles.
No, not that far. Just clear safety glasses.
Yeah.
I have them inside me. Storage of the boat just takes the wind off your.
Oh, that's all you got to do.
And especially when you run up the Murray with a spotty on or something, you don't get bugs in your face.
True.
Or your mouth. I have copped a bug in the eye before, and it sucks.
It's not much fun, is it?
No, even if the bug's not in there, it's just because it's gone and slapped you in the eyeball.
It
stings like a bastard.
Yeah. Talk to me about your active target experiences, about what you've seen and I want to hear from, I guess, two perspectives of both deep water Eildon. You know, whatever range you're fishing in, but also mullet. I understand that active target or panoptics even actually became a bit of a topic at the nationals in terms of whether you could use it or not.
Yeah, that's right.
Interested to hear.
Yeah. On briefing night, we were told at nationals that whether you had the Garmin Live Scope or the Lowrance Active Target, that it was going to be, depending on the results, is what was going to happen to it. So it was either going to get canned or it was going to be. So it was a bit of a trial.
So it was a live issue.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was never been done. Never been dealt before in the event. So it was a bit of a run, and lo and behold, guys that had it started banging fish within the first 5 minutes of tournament start time and pushing the meter mark. So it got canned pretty quick.
Yeah, right.
And the guys that actually pulled the fish actually dropped other fish, so they had multiple chances. So you could see a massive contrast in the results being influenced on people who had it and who didn't.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it's there for everyone to buy and use and do as you wish, but
in a year or two, it won't be an issue because everyone will have it.
It'll be just a main.
And the guys that don't want to have it, that's their choice.
Yeah,
because accessibility is there. It's a bit of money, but it's like having a sander in the first place.
That's right. It's just buying another.
If you want to be bloody nosed about, it's unfair, it's okay. Well, take that sander off your boat.
Yeah, take it off. Yeah, that's right. 100%. But so you got camber, not completely. You got to the point where you can run it in perspective mode or scout mode, as active target have it, where you have it horizontal, showing very much like the Hummingbird 360. How they can show like a 360 scan or like a cone shaped scan. So I actually, for nationals, that's what I ran anyway. I actually didn't run the forward facing mode because I wasn't fishing that type of water, chasing big fish as it was. So chasing those fish, I was seeing a lot of bait, and I learnt so much from having follows from fish. I was looking away or whatever and looked down and I could see these big fish. I had multiple meter plus fish follow my lures in that you would never have known they were there.
They were ghosting you.
Yeah, they were ghosting it, sitting right behind it to the point where you could see the fish, and all of a sudden your lure's disappeared on the screen and it's become one with the fish. So he's been right up breathing on it, and your heart in the mouth just, is he going to eat it? He's going to eat it, and you're winding it to the point where your lures come out the water and you see him shoot off. Another direction.
So many of those fish in our fishing we don't even know about.
Oh man, that's why I said at the very beginning of this podcast, you pull your hair out. You've probably seen too much. But again, it also reflects on to where you were saying that you would love to see what you might
the reactions.
You might not have a bite for 2-3 days or the weekend that you were there, but hang on, you got followed by some true giants that you never knew. You were in the best area possible.
See, that affects what you do next.
That's right.
Like, to me, say I went and had a real hard day on him and, just no feedback, nothing.
No.
And I knew the back lawn needed doing. I had jobs around the house. Maybe the missus was a bit cranky. I'd probably say I'd be a bit annoyed about it in terms of myself that I didn't achieve. But I'd write off the Sunday and I'd do my jobs.
Yeah.
Right. But if you had have seen frickin' giants on your tail, you'd be ignoring those tasks and going again, wouldn't you?
Yeah, like, sorry.
There's another weekend.
Yeah, that's right. 100%. And that's actually like fishing the nationals, where I seen bait in some areas that some people don't realise, like even like my whaler, there's bait ball activity, very much like striped marlin on bait balls. It's the same. We sight casted a couple off bait where you're pulling your lure through and you can actually see the ball of bait, like a beach ball size of bait, split and shower away from your lure running through it and then settle and regroup as a ball again. So seeing that sort of stuff,
like
where
flying mackerel or pilchards,
is exactly right. And you could see these marks, tail swimming around the balls of bait, and there wasn't just one fish. There was so many times there was multiples, 4 or 5 fish, and you could see it like 4 or 5 meters down or in water that you wouldn't. Again, going back to when my dad was casting in open water.
Yeah.
Realistically, he could have been casting and there was a bait ball out there with fish on it that you never knew about.
Exactly. And never will know.
That's right.
Without the technology.
But the prospecting cast just pulls fish. And there was actually somewhere I've gone and I've turned the transducer and I've got, there's a ball of bait, but hang on, there's like 3 marks off it. It's hard to sometimes guess on how big the fish is. I knew they were roughly that just legal to 60 centimetre size fish. I could see clear as day. But I would say to my dad, hang on, I'll keep the transducer on these fish while you put a cast. He ran up, stood up next to me, and I said, 5 meters down, here to the right or to the left. And he'd be like, halfway through the retrieve, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I can see a lure. And all of a sudden, a fish would roll on it and eat. Soon before I've gone to go, there's one on you, he's gone to go, yep, I'm on.
Because it happens that quick.
Yeah, because it happened so quick.
Yeah.
And that happened at least 3 or 4 times where I've gone direct, there's a fish. And we've gone, maybe it takes 2 or 3 casts.
Yep.
But then you finally get it and then you get the bite out of the fish.
It's definitely not a case of, fish cast, I'm on. That might happen.
No.
That might happen.
Yeah, of course.
But in terms of getting it, probably, there's probably a factor in getting used to what's the right zone.
Yeah, that's right. There's still so much to learn. Like that, the fish teach you in their habits and, like, is your lure too small for them to even bother about? Is it too big on what they're feeding on?
They're a big put off bite size.
That's
it's
right.
too big.
Intimidating maybe, or something they're not just keen on. Maybe it's the action too much of a shimmy, or they want more of a presence.
Yeah, there's so much in this stuff. You're a Lawrence guy. I'm a Simrid guy. I know we've both got associations with Navico. Good mate of mine, I'm pretty sure you know him, Gwayne Blake.
Yep.
He's a Garmin guy.
Yeah.
And I was in his new boat, Claxton, the other week with the Panoptics, which he's got transom mounted.
Yeah.
So he's got like, I'm making these numbers up, like 30 degrees forward and 30 degrees back, whatever the angle is. And we're live baiting kingfish. And so you're at the wheel of the boat, you've got traditional sonar and you've got your live.
Yeah.
And on the live, you'll go, oh, that looks like a kingfish coming through. Oh, yeah, more. Oh, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, and you see the school come through and you'll see them, a number of reactions. They might start to rise because they might get interested in the boat or they don't like the boat. And then you actually see them go down. And then they're kind of going off your live screen.
Yeah.
When they first appear on your actual sonar.
Yeah.
Because they've gone through.
Crazy.
And so, now I'm starting to see marks. And it's really, really good from the point of view of, I know you fish for kings. You get a lot of guys where they sound up with their traditional sonar, those kind of kingfish mark is a bit of a longer squiggle.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys go, oh, look at the kings. I wouldn't go. And a lot of guys that are experienced would go, I'm pretty sure you're looking at pike.
Yeah.
Same kind of shape, longer fish, but you don't see that density in the red. When you're looking at them on in the live view, you can see the shape of a kingfish. There is no freaking doubt about it. But then when it gets really interesting, is then you go, you're looking at the live and you're like, oh, the kings are back on the screen, but now they're coming the other way.
Yeah.
Oh, they're following the baits.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then you hook up or you don't hook up.
Yeah.
Nick Hamilton-Smith was up at Cooktown recently, and GT and reef flats fishing, and one of the boats up there had active targets. I think mounted the same as like Gwayne's as a keel mount, transom mount rather. Yeah. And Nick was saying you could see like your red bass, your coral trout, and that you can see them come up to eat your topwater.
That's crazy.
How cool is that?
Yeah. Because I've actually noticed that like surface fishing in my way, like the flats, you can see your surface light. You can see it paddling along.
How good is that?
That's crazy.
Oh, that's amazing. I guess deep, I'm not experienced in this. I'm literally I'm going to be using it myself on my boat for the first time in the next few weeks. The transducer's on the boat. I'm just waiting for this software.
Yeah. I'm
so keen.
Yeah.
But when, say you get into, you're in Eildon at 10 meters, what are you seeing then?
A lot of bait, like the reddies, ball up a lot, like especially where the tree starts to fork. Like you might have a tree that's in 10 meters of water and it comes out another 5 meters above water level.
Yep.
But where those branches sort of fork, where you get that main split where the first trunk divides, I found a lot of reddies were always balling up around that. And it looked like a swarm of bees.
Yeah.
Like literally, you can almost count the individual fish in it too. And just for fun, because I started getting a lot of trout following my big swim baits, cod swim baits. I actually wanted to catch a couple of the trout to take home.
Yeah, why not?
Some of them are pretty big. So I actually had a little 2,500 with a little Megabass little shallow runner, just to put my swim bait down and quickly throw that and try and catch it. And it started to happen. I've started to get a bag of trout.
So you're quickly putting it down and switching it up.
Yeah, just throwing that out there and getting it. And I was doing these to the reddies, where sometimes you get a swarm of reddies, and some of them are like 150, 200 mil.
Yeah.
Some solid. If you get a couple of those, you've got a good feed. So
and they're tasty as.
Yeah. I started doing that, little TN50s and stuff, and burning it through the swarm of reddies, and you just get this swarm following it. Yeah, half a meter behind you, following it. And then when it gets to a certain point, they sort of stop, turn around and shoot back to their tree.
They go back for cover.
Straight back to that tree again.
Yeah.
And they do move up and down the tree, but it's just, that's sort of like that sweet spot.
So in your time using that in Eildon, have you seen like giant cod?
No.
Not yet?
I haven't. The times I've used it in Eildon haven't been on a pole.
You had it on the electric motor.
Yeah, I ran on the electric because I didn't have a pole ready. at that time.
And I know the one day, the first time you used it, it was rough as hell.
Oh,
Probably wasn't a great day for
terrible.
spotting anything.
Yeah, let alone I had it on the electric, let alone on a pole, so changes were beaming everywhere. I was trying to control the boat, let alone try and get a proper scan.
Yeah. So that discovery still to come this winter, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Like I've seen some pretty amazing stuff in my whaler with it. Actually, some pretty stupid things as well.
Go on.
Proper giant fish. I've only had one trip so far where I haven't seen a meter fish on scope.
Are they all reacting in some way?
Yeah, you got to get them to do something. It
Yeah.
may not be your first or second cast, but I've had a lot turn, like get spooked, but turn around. So that tells me they're, hey, and what was that?
Yep.
There's been somewhere I think I've run my line across their back or whatever, and there's actually
Didn't
once,
like it. Yeah.
Once where I did have slime on my line above my lure, so I definitely did run it over his body. And some of them have been,
No fish likes that.
no,
Like
no,
if you ever done it to a dolphin, they do not like it, or a seal, they do not like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it teaches you fish behavior, where and how to present. Again, back to the action of lure and what you should change up, maybe downsize or make a bit more subtle approach.
I look, I've seen some of it with the skiers boys.
Yeah.
With their stuff where, they're like, twitch it.
Yeah.
Boom,
Move,
boom.
Yeah. It teaches you what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even then, saying that the first time I Eildon, when I did have it, I didn't use it to actually scan. I tried to scan fish, but obviously in that weather I couldn't. But I marked bait, and that's what made me, I don't know if you've seen me like spot locking off those points, because I've seen stacks of bait there and pulled a fish. It was only a smaller fish. And then you guys left, but I stayed in that area. I got another one and missed another one. Similar class of fish, but still, again, like I didn't move 100 meters that whole session.
So whether you're seeing actual cod or not is somewhat irrelevant. It's great to see them.
Yeah.
But, for me, I've relied on in Eildon for a few seasons now, primarily side scan and a bit of down scan.
Yeah, same.
And I've definitely concentrated on bait and pulled plenty of fish, plenty of good fish off bait. But the challenge with it is that it's a retrospective view.
That's right.
It's back there, over there.
It's happened 10, 15, 20 seconds ago.
And then, you might spot lock and start to cast there, but then to a degree you're blind. Unless you wanted to, I'll go run past it again and see if they're still there. You don't.
No,
you'll put a better time into it and move on. I think you got to say it will change aspects of how you fish.
100%.
I don't think, I can't speak too soon because I haven't used it, but I don't think it'll get to the point where I'm not casting till I see fish.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening.
No, because I know people, and speaking to a few people, they've fished behind people with active target and still put fish.
Yeah.
And not just any fish, still getting that meter class fish, even though they've gone behind people with a scope.
And you've probably got the people with the your scope that have not even seen what was there.
That's right.
Yeah. It's not like you've pulled all the water back like Moses and you can see everything it's there. You've just got a unique view into some of it.
You'd be surprised finding a meter fish on scope, how easy you can lose that fish, like lose sight of it. You're spinning that transducer 360 trying to find him, where did he went, where did he go?
And not find him
gone.
Again.
Cannot find it again. Even might be open water, no structure.
Well, that says they're mobile as.
They move so much. And a high percentage has been mid-water.
Yeah.
Like 10, 12 meters of water, and they're only 3-4 meters down.
Yeah.
That's probably the highest I've seen, highest to deepest water I've seen. Like most are that mid-water or 2-3 meters off the bottom. They're not really the ones locked on the bottom or moving right along the bottom. I'm yet to get a reaction out of personally.
Yeah.
If anything, a spooked fish. I've seen like them take off, and I've seen the dirt kick off the ground, so they've obviously been hard on the ground. But
you've seen the mud on the scope.
Yeah, I can see the scope.
Oh man, that's so cool.
The detail in that. But the ones you get reactions out of are the ones that are mobile, moving. You can actually see their fins up while they're moving. That tells you already their posture is an aggression, like they're aggressive. And they're the ones that you just get really excited about because their fins are up and about, their tails paddling, not just gliding through the water. They're moving water. So again, it teaches you so much.
Oh, I'm excited for the lesson.
Yeah, if you can have it and have that mentality, don't go buying it. Oh, I'm going to catch 100 meters this season. Forget it. You'll probably do yourself damage.
Yeah.
But if you see it as an educational, teach yourself, you'll get there. But just don't expect it straight up.
I think the thing that I most want the answer of is that thing back earlier. I said of like, it's a hard day. I just need. I'd love some clarity.
Yeah.
On some of the things that happened.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
probably what I'm after.
Yeah. Like one of the first times I took it out was with a mate of mine, Jordan Harmon. I fished with a fair bit of Yarrawonga local.
Yeah.
First time we went out, we seen in excess of at least half a dozen meter plus fish. One was all day meter 20 plus fish. We didn't get a bite all morning.
Yep.
But it was just like, hang on, I've fished this bit of water so much. How many have I gone over the top? And again, it was where bait was present, like heavy splashing, jumping, and mooching around. You could see it on the sounder. And then I've gone back there maybe 2 weekends later, barren, dead, not a skerrick of bait, nothing.
And no fish.
No fish. So the teachers, they move so much that more than people give them credit for.
I think that the traditional thinking around cod is probably in rivers it's got a little bit more credence this, but I think in lakes is largely wrong.
Yeah.
In terms of no, that's he lives there.
Oh, to a degree, maybe one fish, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's part of their beat.
That's right. Yeah, he was there.
Yeah.
Then
and he'll probably come back there in
that's right.
his travels, but in terms of living there, look, the big animals they've got to eat.
Yeah,
and the bait moves considerably. So
100%. Like if you look at it, say Eildon again, all the bait sources, trout, how pelagic they are, like how much they move around. Reddies, they're in bait schools, but they're there one day, the next day they're gone. Carp, have you ever seen a carp free swimming in winter?
No.
Me neither.
I think they must go deep.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But even then, they're gone.
Like go to a thermocline or something.
Yeah, something like that.
The roach are up shallow early, like flickering at dawn.
Yeah, that's right.
And then if you go looking for them on your sounder later, they'll drop down to an edge.
Yeah, that's right.
And go quite deep.
Yeah, that's right. So
which has largely influenced my swim bait fishing. Has been probably early morning 3 to 5 meters. It's just for a random number.
Yeah,
and then you just get to that point where the bait's gone.
Yeah, that's right.
Go to whatever the edge is and
follow it.
Yeah, whatever that drop might be.
That's right. That's what the fish are.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
they don't just sit there again in 4 meters. Go, I can't wait till tomorrow when they come back.
No, because he might not have got to feed that morning.
Yeah, he might have missed.
You might have missed out. Yeah, especially like at night.
They're fishermen.
That's right. Like I'm sure there's meter plus fish in a meter of water through the
100%.
Because that's where the bait is. But chances are through the heat of the day, it's probably not going to be there.
No. I can think of a couple in one area where I've caught fish. 100%, it's 2 meters or less.
There you go.
Yeah, at the right time of the morning. They haven't been in darkness, but they've been very shallow.
Yeah, time and place.
Yeah, time and place.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's been in the Eildon where literally, and it doesn't take long for it to get to pretty deep, pretty fast.
Yeah, not far away at all.
Nah, that's always been a thing for me about Eildon is I do like that kind of range, but deep water nearby.
Yeah,
because they just come in and out.
No, that's right.
In and out of the highway.
Yeah. See, that's another thing about traveling. We learned that, like fishing other waterways, like even Copeton, learning that, like what we were saying about traveling and learning through your travels or whatever. Like I went there and I was trying to cast at every freaking boulder, thinking there was a cod sitting under it.
Yeah.
And then you just start to click on and you talk to people and you learn and you go, hang on a second. It's different. Open up that mindset.
It's different, isn't it?
Yeah. Like I felt like I was at school again. Like I was just
and you feel a bit dumb.
Yeah, a little bit. Like how did I not think of that?
The other thing about Copeton I find interesting is what was it kind of had that reputation as a top water fishery, which has somewhat died down a little bit and probably more swim bait orientated or the bait fishermen. But that's another story. But you definitely get an early morning bite window that's quite short.
Yeah, very
quite short.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys have got that view of pack up, done. But you can catch them. Yeah. But you've got to rethink it.
100%. That's actually one of the trips I went. Again, those guys that finished that I was tying with at Nationals, Ian and Matt Rogers, we actually did a trip together up to Copton, and they actually brought an interesting point because I did one trip previous to Copton, and so I sort of had a little bit of an upper hand in regards to I knew what a bit of a plan I had together. Was these boys went in blind, and we first opening morning we dropped 2 off the surface, and I got one. It was a freckle under a meter, and then we got back to camp, and the boys actually got a meter 25 off memory,
giant
off the top, and they actually got a fair few other fish as well, like a monster yalla and 3-4 other fish all over 80. And mind you, we came back to camp and they went back. I actually thought something happened because they were out there for that long. They didn't get back to camp till like 1 or 2 in the arvo.
And get catching fish.
Yeah, and they go, no, fuck, we drove all this way. I'm not driving all this way and not fishing, which is a fair point. And they started pulling they got their fit up big fish early, nothing for like 4 or 5 hours, and then started banging some serious fish midday. And that's a little bit of a light bulb moment. He's like, they're not going to shut off. You got to adapt.
Yeah.
Definitely changing, maybe fish deeper, fish a different area.
Yeah, for sure.
Different structure.
Kish and I have fished it a number of different ways. One trip in particular, we really focused on, we're going up there on a full moon, which is a lot of people would go, I was literally on the moon. But what we've found our success was mostly in the hours of darkness, fishing moonrise.
Yeah, right.
We would every night get bites on the moonrise.
There you go.
Yeah, and like you can see that glow back towards Inverell over the hills where the moon was coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of glow starting like in the I'm on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it was night after night.
Yeah. It happens for a reason.
Yeah, it does, mate. It's there's so many factors. Like I know we've talked at length in the past about barometer, moonrise, Saluna.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
Your phases of the moon. I think you'll have periods that you favour. I do love that lead into the moon. Those days into it.
Yeah.
I approach it with more confidence if I'm fishing.
Yeah. Well, if you can plan a trip, yeah, definitely.
If you can plan it,
yeah, those leading days, and give it a couple days break over it, and then start again on the backside of it.
Yeah.
Again, try not to dwell on it too much. If I've got a weekend free, I'm going fishing.
That's it. You go.
Yeah, and that's just gone off results that I've had, where you start to sort of put a future pattern together.
Yeah.
Try and predict it as much as you can, but
yeah. And the do you keep a diary?
Yep. Yeah. I'm not full on like what the yeah.
I did for a while, and it was super detailed.
Yeah, I think
super detailed.
Yeah,
I think being so detailed, it made me stop.
Yeah, too much. Like I'll look at what was the moon doing and the weather.
Yeah, I'll do this. Say you shot me a message. Yeah, I got a good one on Saturday, and say I didn't fish. I will go back and look at the weather.
Yeah.
I will go back and look at the barometer.
Yeah,
I will go. What time was that?
Yeah.
And it's just part of
of course,
knowledge building.
Yeah, that's right. That's having a community of mates or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. It's not about, hey, where did you get it? It's just like more interested in when you got it.
Yeah, good. I never catching the fish. I'm wrapped for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, don't tell me where it is. Just
the
time.
You see it on my whaler so often. The place mightn't be fishing awesomely, but I think probably tournaments are the best thing for it. Like everyone has like a bite window, say 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Don't you notice it?
Yeah. There's one thing that teaches you a lot is seeing the score sheet at the end of the day. You see the times and people that
tells you heaps, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's like nothing for an hour, and then 20, 30 fish in the space of 15 minutes people entered, and then it goes dies a bit, and then
says it all.
Bang, bang, bang again, and then quite often in that bite window, same person pops up 3-4 times because he's obviously in a bit of a patch where there's a higher density of fish, and they just switched on. So it's pretty crazy how that affects fish.
Oh man, isn't it?
Yeah. So
I don't know how long we've been going. We've been going for a fair old while here. I think we've covered some pretty good territory, man. The without giving too much away, you said before that you're looking to mix it up. Fair to say there's probably some barra and a bit more salt.
Yeah. Yeah.
down the track for you.
Yeah, bit of hitting north chasing the barra. Barra again is a fish that I've never seen apart from Chinese restaurant in a fish tank.
And don't they look happy?
No. So yeah, watching what's on YouTube and hearing from what people that have done with those fish is bloody remarkable, and hearing the stories and stuff. And you've caught a few, have you?
Yeah, nothing special. I've caught, I think 80 would pull me up, saltwater barra, not a lake fish, but that's with Benny Carroll, who you're doing a fit trip with.
Yeah.
Have you filled that trip?
Yeah, that booked out very quick, actually.
Yeah. Are you doing a Coastal Creeks liveaboard?
Liverpool, but bit of remote stuff too. I think it's
literally go through the night.
Yeah,
to different systems. Yeah, we're doing the same. When's yours?
Mid-August.
I reckon we could be the trip after you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We've booked Benny again for. I reckon it's the same deal. Get right away from Darwin.
Yep.
Arnhem Land Way.
Yeah.
And then start to hit some systems.
Yeah, that's right.
Dry season, sight casting, that kind of thing. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
We're talking about Ben Carroll from Vision Sport Fishing up in the Territory. If you want to book him for the runoff, too bad. He's probably already booked out for 2022 already.
Yeah,
but
probably.
You can get him for, build up or for dry season dates. He's not the kind of barra guy that is there the whole year. He comes in, does probably about a 5-month season, and then he disappears and goes marlin fishing and the like and bumming around.
Yeah.
But he's very good at what he does.
Yeah, very good.
Benny boy. So yeah. Unless you got any more, man, let's go to what's your final thought?
I don't know. Just really looking forward to this coming winter. Expecting big things, going in with a big positive attitude, and just again, that's probably one big thing. Be confident in what you're doing. Do things for a reason. Don't just half-ass it. Just go in and be confident. Do your research. Again, nothing happens from nothing. You have to get out and achieve it. Pay attention to a few things that are around you. Things do happen for a reason while you're out there. When things do happen, take in what's around you. It does, like I said, happen for a reason. So try and predict it for the future. Make it all happen.
My closing thought is, I guess we're talking about what's coming up, and I'm excited. Yeah. I'm genuinely pumped the way, because the 2020 big bait season really didn't happen because of COVID. It really didn't happen. It was I got a handful of trips in when we could, which were productive.
Yeah,
and it was you were getting pumped, but then it just
the fire tires was burning. And
the tires got let down bad. So I kind of want to go into this whole phase to, first of all, I want to pick it up again. Make sure what I was doing is working, and then I've kind of got big things in mind. So keen to get out there, man.
Yeah.
So keen.
Same.
And I'm so keen to see what happens on that scope, man. I'm pumped for it.
Yeah, I've invested a lot of time and money to be getting this thing off the ground, and just tackling up already. I've already got fresh lines on rods.
Yeah, me too.
Reels.
I've spooled up again.
Yeah, because I'm not letting that dream fish come along and let myself down because I was too lazy. Thinking,
100%. You've if you got one of your outfits straight through fluoro.
Yeah, I'll probably be running two outfits straight through.
Yeah,
fluoro.
see, to me that is new season, new line.
Yeah, 100%.
When you do that, you don't want to hook that giant that we're all after and have been lazy.
Yeah, that's right.
Braid you can run for seasons.
Yeah,
if depending on the circumstances.
Yeah.
But I just recently got 2 new Lose Super Duties.
Yep.
One's set up, boom, for 28 pound straight through fluoro. So it's for my soft swim baits.
Yep.
And the other one, it's got a Super Duty with a power handle.
Yep.
It's like my big top water or my big deep, hard swim bait or hard weight bait, like Garuda.
Garuda Battalion.
Yeah, for fishing deep in cover.
Yeah.
They're set to go. They'll be my main war horses.
Yeah, nice.
For this winter, they're ready to go. Fresh line, mate. Keen.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, man.
Same here.
Thanks for coming on.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for listening to The Outflow by Ebb Tide Tackle. Subscribe to the podcast to listen to other episodes and stay up to date with new releases. And don't forget to rate and review.